Imagine this. It's the dead of winter. A blizzard is howling outside, the power is out, and you're stuck in your home, isolated and cut off from the world. The wind is whistling, the snow is piling up, and all you can do is hope the power comes back on before the temperature inside drops too drastically. This is the reality of winter for many, and it's a scenario that could become all too real when SHTF. Winter is a season that brings its own unique set of challenges. From blizzards that can bury your home in feet of snow, to ice storms that transform roads and power lines into dangerous icy obstacles, winter weather is not to be underestimated. Even the calm after the storm can be deceptive, as clear skies bring plummeting temperatures and extreme wind chill. These conditions can quickly turn a beautiful winter landscape into a frozen hellscape. But it's not just the weather itself that poses a threat. The aftermath of a winter storm can bring its own set of challenges. Power outages are common, as heavy snow and ice can bring down power lines and disrupt the grid. Without electricity, heating systems fail, leaving homes as cold inside as the winter weather outside. Isolation is another serious concern. Heavy snowfall can make roads impassable, cutting off communities from the outside world. This means emergency services may be unable to reach those in need, and those needing to venture out for supplies or assistance could find themselves stuck. And then, there's the problem of food and water. In extreme cold, even your stored water can freeze, and getting more can be a dangerous trek into the snow. Food, too, can become a scarce resource as hunting becomes more difficult and stores remain closed due to the weather conditions. The frigid temperatures and harsh conditions of winter can turn a challenging situation into a true survival scenario, but don't despair. With the right preparation and understanding of these dangers, you can not only survive but thrive even in the coldest of winters. So let's dive into what it takes to be truly winter ready. Surviving winter emergencies starts with understanding the challenges and preparing in advance. As we delve into the preparations necessary for winter emergencies, remember that foresight and planning are critical to your survival. Let's start with food and water, the pillars of survival. During a winter emergency, a trip to the grocery store or hunting for food may not be feasible. Therefore, a well-stocked pantry is essential. Aim to have a 3-month supply of non-perishable food items such as canned goods, dried fruits, nuts, and grains. Remember, variety is key, not only for nutritional balance but also to combat food fatigue. Consider the energy content of your food as well. Foods high in fats and proteins provide more energy, which is crucial when your body is working harder to stay warm. And don't forget about comfort foods. They can be a great morale booster in stressful situations. Now on to water. You'll need at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking and sanitation. But in winter, there's an additional challenge: preventing your water from freezing. One solution is to store your water in a cool, not cold area of your home, such as a basement. Insulating your water containers can also help. But what if your stored water does freeze? Don't worry, all is not lost. You can melt snow for drinking water, but remember to boil it first, to kill any pathogens. Another solution is to store your water in smaller containers. They are easier to thaw and provide a more manageable way to ration your water supply. Also, consider investing in a water filter or purification tablets, as they can be a lifesaver if you run out of stored water and need to use a local water source. Having a well-stocked pantry and plenty of water can make a world of difference when the snow starts to fall. So, let's keep these tips in mind as we continue our journey towards being fully prepared for harsh winter emergencies. Because when the cold winds blow and the power goes out, it's not just about surviving. It's about thriving. Heat is a critical factor in winter survival, but it's not as simple as piling on blankets. When winter storms hit hard and the power goes out, staying warm becomes a life-or-death challenge. Let's talk about portable heating solutions like kerosene and propane heaters. These devices can be lifesavers, turning a freezing room into a cozy haven. Kerosene heaters are efficient and can heat large spaces, but they do emit some fumes. Make sure you're using them in a well-ventilated area. Propane heaters are another great option, especially the indoor safe models. They're portable, efficient, and easy to use. But remember, anytime you're burning fuel indoors, there's a risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is a silent killer. It's colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So, take precautions. Install a battery-operated carbon monoxide detector and ensure it's functioning correctly. Keep a window cracked open for ventilation when using these heaters. Now let's switch gears to home fortification. When the weather outside is frightful, your home should be a fortress against the cold. Start by insulating your home. Insulation doesn't just keep your house warm, it also reduces your energy consumption. Use weather stripping to seal doors and windows, blocking cold air from sneaking in. For windows, consider using insulating film. It's a clear plastic sheet that you can apply directly to your windows to create an extra layer of insulation. For doors, use draft stoppers. They're simple, affordable, and effective at keeping the cold air out. And don't forget your pipes. Wrap them in insulation to prevent them from freezing and bursting. Your attic and roof are also key areas to insulate. Heat rises, and a lot of it can escape through an uninsulated roof. With a well-insulated home and safe heating options, you can weather the storm in comfort. But remember, preparation is key. Don't wait until the storm hits to start thinking about these things. With the right equipment and precautions, you can stay warm and safe, even without electricity. When the power goes out, having a backup plan can be a game changer. Isn't it true that we often take electricity for granted? It's always there, at the flick of a switch, powering our lives in countless ways. But when winter strikes with all its fury and the power lines go down, it's a whole different ballgame. That's when you realize how much we depend on electricity for our survival and comfort. Now, imagine a winter emergency like a blizzard or an ice storm, and you're stuck at home without power. Your heating system grinds to a halt, your fridge and freezer stop working, and your communication devices lose their charge. Sounds grim, doesn't it? So, how do you keep the lights on during a winter blackout? The answer lies in emergency power solutions. These include generators, solar panels, and battery banks. Generators are the most common backup power solution. They can run on a variety of fuels, including gasoline, diesel, propane, and natural gas. Generators can power everything from your heating system to your refrigerator, ensuring your home remains warm and your food stays fresh. Remember though, generators need fuel to run, so it's crucial to keep a safe, well-ventilated storage area for your fuel supply. Solar panels are another option. They harness the power of the sun to generate electricity. Of course, during winter, sunlight hours are limited, but with a battery bank you can store the energy produced during the day for use during the night or on cloudy days. Battery banks, on the other hand, store electricity for later use. They can be charged by your regular electricity supply, a generator, or solar panels. Battery banks can power smaller devices like radios, lights, and phones, keeping you connected with the outside world. In a winter blackout, these emergency power solutions can be the difference between being cold, hungry, and isolated, and being warm, fed, and connected. So when planning your winter preparedness strategy, remember to factor in these power solutions. Ensure you have a reliable backup power source that can keep your critical systems running when the grid goes down. Even in a winter blackout, you can still keep the lights on. Surviving a winter emergency isn't just about staying warm and fed, it's about staying healthy, skilled, and connected. Let's talk about health first. Winter health isn't just about avoiding the common cold. It's about preventing hypothermia, keeping essential medicines from freezing, and knowing how to handle injuries when hospitals are unreachable. Hypothermia can sneak up on you in cold conditions, especially if you're wet. Recognizing the signs, like shivering, confusion, and fatigue, is crucial to taking action and warming up. Keeping medicines from freezing is another challenge. Some medications may lose their effectiveness if frozen, so consider insulation solutions. A simple vacuum flask might do the trick, but remember to keep it in a central, warm place in your shelter. Now let's switch gears to survival skills. Ice fishing might seem like a novel hobby, but in a winter emergency, it could be a lifesaver. It's a skill that requires patience, practice, and a bit of knowledge about local fish habits. Building a snow shelter or quinzhee is another valuable skill. It can provide a surprisingly warm and windproof refuge if you're stranded outside. But what about communication? In a world reliant on electricity, staying connected during a power outage can seem impossible. But there are options. Battery or solar-powered radios can keep you updated on weather conditions and emergency broadcasts. Ham radios, if you're licensed to use them, can help you communicate with others over long distances. Last but not least, don't underestimate the power of community. Networking with your neighbors, sharing resources, and exchanging information can make a huge difference during a crisis. After all, many hands make light work, and in a winter emergency, working together can make survival more than just a solitary struggle. With the right skills, knowledge, and connections, you can weather any winter storm. When winter hits hard, Being prepared can mean the difference between survival and catastrophe. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, and it's crucial to remember these key points to ensure you're ready when the next winter emergency strikes. Firstly, understanding winter threats is paramount. Blizzards, ice storms, and extreme wind chill can put your survival skills to the test. The more you know about these threats, the better equipped you'll be to face them head-on. Preparedness is the next pillar of survival. Stockpiling food and water that won't freeze and ensuring you have portable heating devices are both essential steps in your winter survival plan. But remember, safety first. Be aware of the risks of carbon monoxide poisoning when using these devices. Next, we talked about the importance of staying warm and safe. This means fortifying your home against the cold, setting up emergency heating solutions, and being prepared for power outages. Having a generator, solar panels, or battery banks can keep your crucial systems running when the power grid fails. We also stress the importance of health and medical preparedness. Keeping medicines from freezing and knowing how to treat hypothermia or other injuries could mean the difference between life and death. Essential survival skills like ice fishing, building a snow shelter, and winter foraging can prove invaluable. The more self-reliant you are, the better your chances of survival. Finally, communication is key in a winter emergency. Having non-electric methods to stay informed and in contact with the outside world can make a huge difference. And don't forget the power of community. Building a support network and sharing resources can help everyone get through a winter crisis together. Remember, preparation is the key to survival. Don't let winter catch you off guard. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, the next step is to put it into action. Start preparing today, because winter is just around the corner. And when it hits, you'll be ready to face it head-on, fully prepared and confident in your ability to weather the storm.